Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Byzantian Brewscast. Woo!
So back, it's been a whole week.
Yeah, it's been an entire week. We're more frequent than the Super Bowl.
Is that the year though?
Exactly. So that makes us better than the Super Bowl. We're more
Okay.
we're more frequent, I guess.
Well, a lot of things are more frequent than the Super Bowl.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Don't tell the audience that they don't know.
No, there might be some people that watch both.
Yeah, yeah. If you watch the
In
Super
between the
Bowl,
ad breaks.
yeah, between the many ad breaks of the Super Bowl,
I know. I
occasionally.
think I think our football would be improved if they just had like music performances in between, though. Might make the game a bit
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Just
You
something
give it
like
that.
something like that one SpongeBob Super Bowl, the good one, the one that never actually happened. It was part of the show. Just you just summon some sea creatures
I
from the
think that's
deep
some proper
sea.
big acts for it as well. I think like a lot of music.
Oh, your mic just went a bit. Um, okay.
That need better.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, cool. Oh,
Oh, uh, you okay? I can't. Oh, is it my internet? Do a quick speed test.
okay. Again, non-good internet.
Ah, well, my internet seems not terrible. Okay, that's fine. So yes, it's been an interesting week. I had a job interview that went absolutely terribly, but Lamplight went well this week, so I'm a happy bunny.
Yeah, we almost didn't do a lot, to be honest. Uh, Turns out the underdog's really dangerous. Um,
Yes, the underground is very dangerous.
yeah,
Um,
and we lost a train. I'm happy with that. I like that train.
yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't.
We're carrying out a rock-eating goblin with us.
Yeah, we have one of our party members is a rock eating goblin. It's it's literally the cat crunching meme. If you can imagine that, but just goblin. Just munch, munch, munch.
I'm glad we didn't all play goblins now,
Yeah, it's just a little bit of diversity, just a smidgen.
or we could have all dumped intelligence. We'd have all eaten rocks then.
Just everyone eating rocks, and just the poor NPC is just very confused. Just what is happening?
Where's my home? Why has it got a renovation?
Yeah, just my entire house is gone. It's because because a group of people ate my house. I think that would be a very weird situation to be in. My
Oh
house.
yeah. It was busy Thursday, Friday anyway. Had a
Mm.
charity thing on,
Oh yes. How did the
which took
Friday
me
go?
really good. It was really long.
Oh.
But it, like loads of kids, so it went down really well.
Mm.
I ended up speaking to some of the marketing team. They might have some copywriting work coming up that they might need some help with. So can get
Oh.
a portfolio going.
Hey. Nice.
All it cost me was sweating through one of my spare shirts.
Ah.
It's very nice, really. And I just took a train back immediately afterwards. As we were going.
Hmm.
Had
Well,
a I had a quick non-legal run-in with the police.
oh. Really?
Always good to get police photo in.
Nice.
And they wanted a photo.
So,
I
this.
think with the same with the station security as well. So
Hmm. It's good to hear.
it was really fun, but I slept most of the day after though.
It's just immediate binge.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been up and on my feet for like 8 hours, so it's
Ugh.
pooped.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I woke up till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon this morning as well. 2 o'clock in the afternoon this morning. Hmm. Just
Oh, I wish I could do that. It's really quite impressive. So
waking up in the
with the
morning
morning
and afternoon
afternoon.
at the same time. Bruh. Just time dilation. Ugh.
Yeah, and I've been brushing up and trying to remember how to use WordPress so I
Ah.
can actually do this copywriting thing a
Hmm.
little better. It's been a year since I last touched it, so I've forgotten some bits.
Yeah. But hey, I guess once you learn that again, we can WordPress up some of the Eye of Argon, the mantle of
Yes,
M- mantle of Mazulk,
it's something like Helm
Mrelf,
of Rift.
Mrifk,
I know it's something of Rift.
Mrifk. There we are.
The,
Yeah.
a thing that was meant to be a god in not Conan Land,
Ah.
which is a good title for a sequel.
Right.
Uh,
So,
okay, look, just
yeah, I
jump
went
up
for
again.
oh, your mic.
We got a bit of a sorry. Right. Yeah. So what's up next?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So, tabletop book club for this week. What do we have?
Yes. Oh, I got a favorite this week,
Nice.
which is on my phone of all things. It's a
Ah, phone
small
book,
library of
Kappa.
yes. I have we have board and download ebooks. So I've
Hmm.
done that for a few things, and once I fish it out, there we are. Didn't mean to do double dip in fourth edition, but the fourth edition Dark Sun book is very, very, very interesting.
Ooh.
If you ignore the mechanics again, because it's fourth
Yeah.
edition. But it's great. This is the Future Catalogue. It gets in called a Monster Manual then.
That's a
And I just love this
weird
book because it's,
departure.
yeah, I just like it because it's weird.
Mm,
Um, I mean, for starting, the Aarakocra the don't have arms, they look like vultures. That's neat.
interesting.
But basically, if you played like traditional D&D, you're not going to know most of these.
Mm,
It's a proper good read for just out there weirdo monsters.
ah,
All of them are psychic as well. Because of course,
interesting.
there's no like arcane magic is kind of seen as like a death penalty
Mm,
in Athens, which is kind of what I like. I like the setting. Means that there's less spellcasters running around, and if they are, they're
yes.
hiding their powers in I like public.
Hmm. Yeah, because like
Kind of
in
just
Dark
things there
Sun, it's
wasn't much
like
magic in Conan.
yeah. Oh no, there's a spellcaster. Kill them because they're very dangerous. A dangerous man.
Yeah, even though they did make. So, long story short, because of some I think it was because of gnome wizards, there was this big old war, which is why Athos is a big old desert.
Hmm.
But they've decided that right, if you're a basically, if you're seen using arcane magic, people don't know the difference between like the non-destructive and the destructive versions. They just see it as all the same thing.
Hmm.
Psychic powers, however, are completely fine. Um,
Yeah.
and everything's got a little bit of it. I think in second edition, if you played a character, you got a psychic power for free, sort of like elves get a cantrip.
Hmm.
That's a similar thing, but you got like a free psychic power. It wasn't very strong, but you got one. There's stuff like psychic centipedes or synapse are really cool. What's it? They didn't have horses. but they had I'm gonna drop it in the chat because it's really cool. They had like their equivalent of horses, were these things called crodlu, and they sort of look like reptile ostriches.
Hmm.
And I think they're really neat, and I haven't seen them show up anywhere else, and I don't know why because their art's just kind of nice looking.
Yeah.
Just drop it in the chat. Where is it? There we are.
That was it.
There we are. And this was some other cool stuff. Like the other alternatives to horses were they have like giant lizards with beaks and giant beetles as well.
Mm. I can.
They're like they really went all weird with the basically it didn't have not horses, they just had like horses not at all.
There
Which
we
is
go.
again just
Oh, I figured out how to display the image to the chat. There you go. That's what that thing looks like.
oh nice.
Ugh. There we
Uh,
are. It's a good visual for you if you're watching
they just look
online.
kind of neat. This just trying to fish out the other ones as well. There we are. Yeah, so the thing called Inex, they're sort of like similar, but they're like more like beasts of burden, big old reptiles, and they have like giant beetles as well that people rode on.
Oh, that guy. Oh, I like
So
this
it's
guy. This just armored
oh yeah,
back lizard.
oh
He's a good boy.
yeah, just yeah, it's just a nice departure from like standard fantasy for a bit, and like
Yeah.
giant beetles like these, which are just they just look cool.
Oh, it's almost cute. Almost. It's a big bug.
Apart from the saliva,
Well, yeah. But I mean,
apart from
that's.
the saliva on its
I
jaws, yeah.
also like how, like, slightly to the right on top of a skull, there is a normal bug for scale. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just to show you, I do think fourth edition had some fantastic art.
Yeah, this is really
Um,
nice.
there's kind of something they did have going for it. Also, some really nasty, weird abilities on some of these monsters. Like this, so there's just I think the page for them, but they effectively they're like basically wild dogs,
Hmm.
and they could basically just detect you through psychic presence rather than smell.
Uh-huh.
There's not really any hiding from them.
Hmm.
Oh, and the cactuses that can effectively mind control you, and they can move. They're moving zombie cactuses with psychic powers.
Oh.
Because why not? That's weird. Oh, and the other thing as well, they allowed you to play as half giants and Thrycreen as well in Dark Sun. The first
Ah,
time I saw it happen,
Thrycreen, that's pretty
and
good. The
it's
bug people. I say
you
bug
can play
people.
as them as well.
Ooh.
And you get effectively get multi attack because you're like 6 arms,
Hmm.
or you can choose to play as a half giant and just get a +4 strength modifier.
Hmm. Just big. Big
What else was
lads.
there? Oh, yeah, you can literally play as a not a Goliath, a full on giant.
Oof.
But yeah, really cool setting. Easy on my favorites because it just doesn't do the normal regular fantasy thing and says just what if we made stuff weird and kind of Conan-y, um, but with a bit more of the weird monsters.
Hmm.
Oh, pardon me. So what you picked up this week?
So I'm on to my second to last of the Sovereign Stone books. This one is called Escape into Darkness, which seemed like a bad idea, to be honest, escaping into darkness.
Usually you escape from it, but okay.
Well, yeah. But this looks to be. What is this? This is. Blah, blah, blah. I think it's another, like, mini adventure. So you've got. Yeah, so it's an adventure book, which, again, has more interesting other things in here. So new monsters and things again. I love how even the adventures come with new monsters and stuff. That is really nice. It's not just like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
please refer to
it's
this
something a lot
book.
more books should do.
Yeah, but basically, the drums of war have begun to beat in Lorem. Unbeknownst to most, the populous armies of fierce humanoids have appeared in the west and have begun a savage conquest in the name of their dark god. Ooh, the undead Vrikiel have been sent ahead to prepare the way for their master. During this time, a traitor redeems herself and sends a warning to her people, one that may arrive far too late. Escape into Darkness is a Sovereign Stone D20 system adventure designed for a party of 4 to 6 second level characters, though it can be modified to work with the first level party with minimal effort.
Oh.
This adventure is an excellent starting point for new Sovereign Stone campaigns, though it can be worked into an existing campaign with little effort. Oh, that's nice. So cool. So very sort of simple premise.
Their second level is a lot higher than 5th edition.
Yeah, because this is still 3rd edition stuff. Let's have a look at the new monsters for this. Oh, they've got like a map for a manor as well. That's nice. Here we are. So, new monsters, we have Shadelings, which are void elementals, which is rather nice. Rather than just your standard fire, water, earth, and stone, you have actually like void elementals. Rather than putting them in with undead or whatever. There's always something that was
and
like...
void is really weird. You have to like define it.
Yeah.
What is void? Some systems don't really have a way to describe the void, which is fair.
This is interesting. So they take damage in sunlight. They suffer 1d4 points of burn damage every round exposed to sunlight. That's cool. So there's an interesting way you can like defeat them if you were like, I don't know, if they're inside a building, you break the roof or something. They dwell in caves, crypts, and cellars, anywhere that sunlight never reaches. And we have void whites as well.
Hey,
so whites affected by the void as well. There's something very sort of like Chinese, Japanese yokai about this artwork as well for this guy. Not sure.
I'll have a look at let's look at the
void whites. Yeah, if you can find a picture of them.
Ooh.
They also potentially get void mage levels. Oh, they're casters. Oh, they're casting undead. Interesting. You don't see that happen all too often at the lower end. But we have some new spells as well. We have Black Flame, which is a shadow elemental spell.
Sovereign Stone did some Dark Sun stuff, apparently.
Did they? Huh. Interesting. Black Flame. 20-foot radius and untouched object. Discharge. What's it do? Oh. Receive 10. They get. Oh, this actually makes -10 circumstance penalty to will saving throws. To disbelieve. Oh, it makes like illusions more effective. That is actually interesting. Bodiless messenger. Book read by the wired. Send important messages that come to in person. Vessel. Yeah, amulet or talisman. 100 argents. That's a... Oh, they got a currency system. Interesting. Once the spell is cast upon the vessel, or either cast or someone the cast designate may speak a message. It's 1 minute in length. Yeah, none of these like 20 words. 1 minute. You get a minute. A whole minute. While touching the vessel. Once the message has been called...
It's like a legal message after the tone.
Yeah, it's like a voicemail. So you actually like... Instead of like, you know... sending, but you just send it instantly. You put like a minute's long message into like a vessel, effectively, and then yeah, the caster speaks the name for which the message intended. The message will remain safely stored up to 1 year. Up to 1 year. The message you like. Oh shit! I've had a 364-day-old voicemail. Best check it. Help! We're being attacked. Send men. Oh, well, they're dead then.
I thought that'd be really weird if I got that wrong. You could send a message that's a year long.
It's a year long. It only exists for a minute. Bollocks. Dark visage, mimic the vehicle. Illusionary guise of a slain victim. Weird. Sight, sound, and touch vision of any humanoid the caster has had any physical contact. Does not grant special knowledge of the victim, nor does it provide knowledge of the imitated creature's language. This spell will only work for living void casters and cannot disguise the undead. That's weird. The Earth's resolve targets an enemy creature from the spell's area, granting them a morale bonus against any natural magic effect that causes fear of paralysis. That's interesting. So it's like a protection spell. And summon Void's creatures, which is a necromancy spell. Oh, there's a new magic item as well. We've got black steel armor and dagger of the doppelganger. I like stuff like that.
A dagger that's not really a doppel. It's a spoon. It's not actually a dagger.
It's a spoon. Um, it says what is this? Dagger's a +1, +1, and a +2 to void spellcasting. Oh, considered taint. Anyone holding or wearing it for more than 10 minutes is considered tainted by void. Lovely. Level 25th, level 4. Oh, it also gives you like crafting stuff as well. You need to be like a 25th level void mage to actually craft one. Item creation threshold
It's
247.
a bit more the Warcrafty.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Black steel is a special alloy enchanted with void magic, random spies and assassins. I tell you, whoever I bought these from originally must have really liked the concept of void, because they seem to put all the void specific books.
You said the word void a lot in the last like few minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just Escape into Darkness, which is apparently quite aptly named because there's a lot of void stuff in this series. Ugh. So, on to our critical fumbles of the week. And I'm actually going to show off the silly artwork I've done for this, the silly logo.
Oh.
There you go. The upside down car. I don't know why I did the Satsuma from My Summer Car, but I thought it was funny at the time, so we're sticking with it for now. But do we have an critical fumble this week? I know I've got one.
I do, but what's yours?
So,
what's yours first?
unsurprisingly, it involves Wizards of the Coast. Again.
And we keep trying to leave them out of this. They keep going back.
Yeah, it's like, well, if they didn't do anything that was a fumble, I wouldn't have to talk about it. However, it's the Magic the Gathering again. So they've released a Secret Lair Super Drop, which is basically like print and manned cards sort of thing, like in sets. Slight problem. So, first of all, they accidentally disdrafted one of the cards as a sorcery and not an instant. So they actually misprinted one of the cards in one of the sets. Which would be funny if it wasn't a counter spell, a card that literally would not work at sorcery speed. So that's the first bit. The other bit is like, I think all but like maybe one of the secret lairs, based on like secondary market value, is not worth the money for the cards that's in it. So that's good. Wizards of the Coast have fucked up in the value department again, but this time across like 5 or 6 different products. Just like, who is buying this? Thanks. Yes, I do want to spend £30 on 5 30-cent cards.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's not quite that bad, but it is like, I think like the worst one was like the non-foil was like maybe £13 in value compared to its £30 or well $30 in this case, but price tag it's like what? The fuck?
And they made a modern card that you can't even play.
Yep, well you can play them, but it's just no one is because, or it's you can play them, but it's like they're not expensive cards, so it's like why would I buy? Yes, the art is unique, but like you could have like, you know, if you're gonna give us like cheap cards in a lot for the art thing, you could give us more of them for the money we're spending. Maybe.
That sounds like common sense.
Yeah, well,
we
know that one thing that Wizards of the Coast does not have is common sense. Given their track record of being featured on almost every critical fumble we've done so far.
Yeah, mine also does sort of relate to what they're thinking of doing.
Oh dear.
There is a rumor going about that they're considering not doing any more flat out D&D books and going purely virtual tabletop. Sorry.
they are aware how annoying it is to play virtual tabletop, right? And lots of groups do not like doing exactly
Yeah,
that.
I highly suspect they know. Um, I think to play devil's advocate, what I think they're doing is they're trying to really push the virtual tabletop because they can control everything on there.
Yeah, and I know they're trying to like compete with Roll20 and stuff. I guess.
And they can also charge you twice
Hmm.
for the books virtually, even if you've already got the physical copy.
Yeah, and they can
So
charge you
that's
microtransactions,
something
and
I'm sure they've thought about.
I think they even said at one point, fucking like borderline loot boxes for cosmetics and like digital miniatures and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Why like get into a creative hobby and make your own stuff, but you can pay a
Yeah,
company to do a sort of subpar version of what you would have done anyway.
yeah. It's like thanks, but no thanks. So,
That's wizards.
yep. And I have another one, which for once isn't Wizards of the Coast.
Wow.
It's not
Okay,
technically
that's
tabletop.
good.
It's
That's
not
good.
tabletop related, but I wanted to mention it anyway. Because it is funny as shit. So Xbox have decided to port over all of their like console exclusives to other consoles now, which is like really shooting themselves in the foot. It's like, so the thing that you touted as this will sell consoles, you're now doing away with, despite the fact that no other company is doing the same in reverse. That seems stupid.
That's that was always that was always the gag though. They always started as exclusive, and then they very
Yeah,
quickly
but there means things like
stopped being.
there's things like Halo which have always been exclusive though. That's the thing, and that made sense because, but then they're just
Yeah,
doing away with
but
even
but
that.
then I remember like years they would always. Sorry,
Yeah, it'd
I
be
remember for
like,
years like they were saying. Yeah,
yeah, it'd
sorry,
be
I think
like
I'm getting some sync up.
Nintendo.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, be a bit like Nintendo porting fucking Mario Sunshine onto the PlayStation. Something they're never going to do because that would be like business suicide.
it's not very smart.
Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but one thing I have seen late, like just the last 3 days,
Uh-huh.
is people have just been doing AI, doing pictures of AI wizards. Have you heard about this?
No, what?
Or some of these are fantastic.
What am I?
Someone's just like
Oh,
gone onto some AI image generator, and
oh, is this the fucking Arby's at 3 a.m.?
yeah, there's for some reason the AI images are just like the most stereotypical wizard ever, or multiple wizards, and some of them just at fast food restaurants causing chaos.
Oh yeah, I saw someone do like a drawn animation of this of like Arby's at 3 a.m. and just some wizards came in, poured like a bunch of Mountain Dew into a cauldron and started casting spells and shit. It was very funny.
There's so many of them as well. It's, they're the
Oh.
Mountain Dew wizards. Yeah,
I
there's whole
am
like compilations of them now. Just showed up this week. It's really funny.
I am the Mountain Dew wizard. I cast kidney stones. Ooh. Got stones in your kidneys now, stupid. Hello. Warcat. Un. Thanks, Warcat. And thanks, Harugal, for petting the goose. Don't worry about the. That's it's an inside joke.
They're all good.
Yeah. Just. I love how this one wizard, if I can open in browser and I can show this off. Hang on. You're going to see some weird shit for a second. There you go. There you go. It's AI generated. Is that like what is this car? Is this trying to be a Mustang or something? Or a Dodge? I can't tell.
Don't-
You have this wizard in
Oh,
like
and then on the
jeans.
slightly flat front.
Yeah, this wizarded genes just dead from like I don't know
Dead in wizard.
McDonald Arby's fucking overdose. All our food kept blowing up. That's me when I go to McDonald's and they don't have chicken selects.
Yeah, that is
Me,
something I have considered when
mm,
I
yeah,
if I ever get to be like properly old and I grow my beard out and they're gonna just dress like Gandalf all the time.
me when no spell slots.
Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna go around as Gandalf all day and just that's just gonna be me when I'm old. And you know, when you're old, and people will just think you've gone mad. That's
Yeah,
gonna be my backup. People will
I
just sort of weirdly put up with it.
yeah, I do love how like top half is like a standard sort of wizard shirt and wizard's hat. The bottom half is just like it's just jeans and brown loafers. Like this man goes to Home Depot for his staffs. The Wizard of Home Depot.
Modern wizards have to make do, you know.
Yeah.
Modern wizards have to make do.
I bought my staff from Hot Topic. Oh dear.
But he can't be that retro. He's still like wearing like the unless that's just wizard uniform is just pointy hat and robe.
Yeah. I love this one inside the shop. It's just like there's a bunch of just mess everywhere, and like the Domino's employees at like 1 a.m. It's just the like the Hogwarts Hogwarts kicking
Wizard
out time for
raid.
the staff. You know, it's the staff are like, all right, right, lectures are over. Time to get some scran at 1 a.m. Much to the dismay of the Domino's employees.
Maybe wizards are like rugby people when they start drinking they go really hard and just
Yeah.
like raid fast food places.
I would like 300 Crunchwrap Supremes. So this is a Wendy's? I don't
They then
care.
insist on doing it themselves with magic behind the counter.
Yeah, yeah. I'm already making them. What do you mean you're already making them? I'm way ahead of you. Sir, you can't do that. Yes, I can. I'm a wizard, you
Create
know.
food and water.
Yeah, they come into the restaurant just to flex. They can create food and water. It's like, oh, are you gonna buy anything? No, I'm just going to make a shitload of fucking Mountain Dew. Okay. Uh,
Just conjure up like £500 worth of burgers because they've just drunk and just the volume's all off kilter.
yeah, it's not even like from the correct restaurant. It's like walking into a Burger King and like conjuring 20 Big Macs and KFC
I don't
chips.
know. If I was like a regular fast food worker and like 20 wizards just barge in and start conjuring food, I'm not about to try and stop them.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be turned into a sandwich, thanks, because they could probably do that as well. Skedaddle, skedoodle, your body is
Like, if they were
now
mad
made
enough
of
to just
noodles.
if they're mad enough to just like raid a fast food restaurant with no warning,
Hmm.
and then just not hurt anyone, what else are they gonna do?
Average Saturday, yeah. Average Saturday. Ugh. Right. Anyway,
Then wizards
that
barge
was
into Burger King's.
Critical Fumble featuring Wizards of the Coast and apparently wizards barging into Arby's at 3 a.m.
AI wizards.
Yes. Homebrew of the week. What have we been making in the kitchen? Speaking of food and restaurants and making shit. What have we been brewing this week?
Uh, do you have something? But I have to find it because a wizard, like 20 wizards, barged into my files and just like conjured blank documents.
Conscious blank documents. Oh, I hate it when someone
Like
breaks into
237 of them.
I hate it when someone breaks into my PC and conjures 20 blank documents. I hate
Yeah, the
it.
worst thing they just did that then left.
Yeah. You get like blank document wizards. I get the anime etchy fucking wizards that just create horrible fan fiction in my documents every Saturday. I need to ask them
Oh
to
no,
stop. Please stop. I have to
wizards.
get the law involved, the wizard law. Installation wizard. Yes, it's fucking Clippy over here. I see you're trying to install a program.
Bonzi buddy.
Fucking Bonzi Buddy is back in a wizard hat. So this week, I have developed a sort of a small magic item. It's like an uncommon magic item, known as the instant spike trap.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's like a once per day thing. You hold out like a little cube, speak out a command word, and you make like a 5-foot cube spike pit on an unoccupied point on the ground that you can see within sort of about 30 odd feet of you. Whilst so doing, you may designate up to 5 creatures to be unaffected by the trap, so they just sort of walk over it as if it's normal ground. Once done, a solid 5x5x5 cube of ground is extra planarly replaced by this spike trap. The spike trap, once fallen into, deals 1d6 piercing damage and inflicts the grappled status to whoever's in it. I figured because you're stuck on a spike is equivalent to being grappled. It's like the closest sort of thing. Creature must succeed a DC
I can see it.
10 DC 10 strength save on its turn to escape. So it's not a difficult thing to do. It's just they might occasionally fuck up. Using half its movement on a success to climb out. On a failed save, they take a further 1d6 piercing damage. Trap can hold up to 2 medium creatures, or obviously doubling of smaller creatures, and lasts an hour before vanishing, replacing what was there before the effect began. I made this because I was like, for things like ranges and stuff, there's not really that many good ways of making certain types of traps. So I thought a basic magic item for traps, for trappers, would be interesting.
Yeah, okay, I can see it.
Yeah, just sort of a funny little basic thing. I also made a typo at first.
I've been doing something.
I put speak out the command cube
So
instead of the command
what's?
word.
Oh, I like the command cube.
Yeah, the command cube. Anyway, what was your thing?
There's like a version of those those like magic 8 balls you get,
Oh,
but gives you a random command.
yes.
I have come up with a thing that's a bit more. It is because I was thinking of. Well, it's potentially picking up. And it's a few years old now, but the Sentence of Avernus.
Mm.
And my only real gripe with it is there's simply not enough devils and demons in it. Not enough new ones anyway. So I made I'm tinkering with a small monster manual that is only for devils and demons. And
Hmm.
well, the first thing I did was because I was picking out like the demons are sort of whatever because there's apparently if we're going by the Forgotten Realms stuff, there's like 1,000 different the abyss,
Hmm.
so they can show up almost anywhere. But with the devils, there's only 9 hells, so at least that's so for the devil stuff, I sort of pick out one of the realms and just do a do a different CR every single entry, all from the
Nice.
same realm. And I picked the third realm. It's basically like a big old swamp,
Mm-hmm.
like a really horribly toxic hell swamp, which is very Warhammer Nurgle y, which is kind of fun and just horrible to put players through. But which actually remember we were sort of playing through Sins of Avernus years ago with Alex.
Yes.
I not knowing what the campaign was going to be like, I was kind of worried because I was like sure we'd have to go through all the levels of hell.
Ah.
I was thinking this is going to be rough, and part of me wishes that's how the campaign actually was because that'd be
Yeah.
metal as hell.
Kind of like a Dante's Inferno kind of affair.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a miserable time because it's hell.
Well, yeah.
Um, and the first thing I came up with was called a bog trawler. It's sort of like a weird, uh, like basically a strange looking hell eel.
Oh.
It's sort of like a devil version of a pest.
Mm.
It's it's like a really strong swimmer, but it can ignore mud, bogs, sludge, um, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Can swim right through it, no problem. Uh, sort of like sort of feel the same places like wolves in like a regular forest.
Hmm.
Um, they can do the typical thing. They have like resistances to um, acid, fire, and poison. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
can't be frightened or poisoned because they're not natural.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, they have bite, which is not great amounts of damage, but they get a weird feature called hell mud. They can basically just like if they spend their entire time in mud, they can just like use their tail like a paddle and just like really hurl really hot acidic mud in your face and blind you.
Oh,
It's only 1d8 damage, but imagining for like people wanting to run a campaign in that particular level of the nine hells,
yeah.
this is like an entry level monster you can
Hmm.
expect to bump into.
And also, it's also
And in
for
packs, they're just kind of mean.
to make the. I think there's a spell, isn't there, that they added? I think it's in Tasha's that allows you to summon like devils and demons and stuff. So it adds a bit more flavor to things
Oh,
like that. So for things from the lesser remembered layers of
yeah,
hell.
there's around 9 of them, and a lot of them are pretty cool. Like 3 and 6 are my favorite ones.
Hmm.
Was it? Is one of them is basically two of them are basically big old frozen like wastelands.
Hmm.
They're all horrible, but they're all uniquely horrible in their own way, which is a quite like.
Yes.
Just wanted to come with an entry level monster that wasn't just an imp. And imps are fine, but not exactly exciting.
Well, most imps anyway. There's that one in Baldur's Gate which is very funny. I mean, the game
Yeah, I mean
Baldur's
like
Gate
the
3.
standard
Yeah.
profile for them isn't exactly like
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
And
just
if you were going to run a lot of devil fighting, you can get a bit bored fighting the low level
basic.
demons because
Yeah.
there's not many low level demons. You
No.
got a lot of like mid to high level.
Hmm.
I remember we were like level 5 or something. We were fighting a single like bearded devil, and it was really giving us a rough time.
Yeah, a single boy. And there was the Cambion as well. Was it a Cambion that chased us? It was like, oi.
It was a Cambion, yeah.
Tried to take the shield and was like, no.
How do you like flat out mind control? No, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do have obviously there's more than that, but that's like the first thing I latched onto because at the time I was playing uh getting back through Monster Hunter Rise,
Ah.
and one there I'll find a picture of him. One of their newer monsters has this really cool like look to it. Also, there's the whole hurl mud thing, which is quite fun.
Yes.
I'll just find a picture of him. Almudron. Obviously not quite as big, but I had a moment of inspiration, I suppose. Where's he at? Oh, there's a variant of him. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna show you that one because that's neat. Um,
Still looking at the fucking wizards. Oh,
we,
I'm not gonna have that escape my
they
mind.
are really funny.
Oh,
This guy,
oh, that's
he's got a weird
weird.
grubby hand tail. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
He can like swim, just flat out swim through mud. It's kind of neat.
Oh, it's it's kind of like a cross between like a mongoose, um, like a lizard and some sort of feline, and part and almost like scorpion-like tail almost. Very weird. Very
Yeah,
interesting
monsters.
looking.
If you're short of monster designs, Monster has some great
Hmm.
concepts and just cool things in there. That's why we've been playing the game since the very first one
Hmm.
with the wonky controls. Um, it's like Pokemon; they keep making new ones, and they're all pretty good at least.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to actually start playing the Monster Hunter series because it does look very fun.
Do you have a Switch?
I need to get mine repaired, but yes.
The one on Switch is Rise, and that's like it's honestly pretty beginner friendly.
Hmm.
It's much easier than the older ones. And it's generally just a fun game. Takes a bit of time to get good with it, but again, it's one of those games you can sink a bit of time into when you got some small hours to use. Generally, really fun.
Mm.
And again, just the monsters themselves look pretty neat. And the online community is pretty good at helping each other out, but it's all cooperative. So I've always been a fan of that. Like sometimes when I've got a few hours spare, I will just pop my Switch Lite on and I'll just find an online for sort of my hunter rank or lower and just help people out.
Mm.
You still get the reward from doing it because it's sort of like a bounty kind of situation where you get paid. It's just really, really fun time, and they haven't released many bad ones. Right now, I can
So,
talk about Monster Hunter all day, but what else have we got?
we have Rolling for Regret. Do you have anything for us this week?
Yes, I do. I do. Um, it is not a book, but a box. I bought a box of pink horrors some time ago, and
Interesting.
it's a weird case. You know when like the Games Workshop doesn't always have like the numbers of where the various heads and mouths and arms are meant to be going,
Yeah.
and every single model's leaping about in a really weird, specific way.
Yeah. It's like,
And at one
thanks.
point, I moved the bits about to try and figure out which mouth is going in which body, and I kind of forgot.
Oh,
So I don't know how to put them together now.
dear.
That is definitely on me, but that's yeah, that's sometimes when your miniatures are too bespoke, you can run into that problem.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that it's not really a regret 'cause it's still a nice mini, but I think the one time I had that problem was I think it was the Necromancer they did, and this was during sort of the sort of weird transitionary period between old fantasy and new age of Sigmar, where for some strange reason the instructions said to still put them on the square base and then put the round base underneath, and
Well, I
it
remember
does
I
look
got a
weird.
skin freeze with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like a true, oh, I wish I hadn't bought this mini, but I wish I hadn't bought it at that time and it was still in that kind of transitionary period, because it does look really strange to have this just double based miniature. It's very weird.
I yeah. That was a sign of what would come because now every miniature's got like its own crazy base now, especially the
Yeah.
character ones. Saying that, I like the what they did with the skink priest are really cool because
Hmm.
he's got like some stairs he's standing on.
Ah.
It looks pretty. Actually, it works because the skink's a tiny little model, so it gives him a bit of height.
Hmm.
But yeah, sometimes I just think I do kind of miss the legs being one bit of plastic.
Yeah. Rather than like some weird action pose or so squashed that
It's
it looks like they've been flattened by a flatbed truck.
seen that one so much unless you really do some damage to it.
No, I mean like that's the way the Necromancer looks because you look he's like kneeling quite a bit, so it looks like he's like
Okay,
just
so
been hit by a bus kind of thing. Like ah,
let's have a look. So would this be 8th edition?
I think
Just want to find him.
so.
Let's have a look at him.
Because the new one now, the Death Mage's Necromancer looks a lot better. Even like the
Is that
one
the one with
that's
the weird
sorry.
pose?
Oh,
Is this the one with the weird staff?
yeah,
The skulls on it?
yeah. Oh, and there's also the
Oh, another one.
White King that was the same problem. The White King had the same problem with
I thought
his.
he was okay to assemble.
It's
I
just
used him
he
quite a
had a
bit. Well,
square base. It's the problem. For a time, he had a square base and then another base. Obviously, now
yes,
they've rectified it to give him a special circular base. But before you had to double base him. It was really, really weird. But as you can sort of see, he looks sort of. I don't know if it's that he's just short, but he does look like he's
he's got
like.
a bad back.
He's just got a. Yeah, it might just have a bad back, actually, yeah. It's just a bit like, okay.
But he looks like he's about 200,
Well,
which
yeah,
which
yeah,
fits.
yeah. But yeah, there was a time where I think I've got him somewhere, but imagine having to put the square base on and then the circular base on underneath. It's very, very weird. And that was actually part of the instructions. Because I guess they were like, they still had a bunch of
Yeah,
them
there's.
left. So they were just like, I'll just whack a circular
Oh
base in
yes,
it and
there's.
call it a day.
There's so much though because the skinks are the same model. Uh,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of the Tomb King's re-releases
Mm,
with the new old world is
yeah.
still
Because
the
I'm
same
looking at
models.
I'm looking at their lexiconum now and the Games Workshop sort of website now. They have finally transitioned over to like the circular base one. So it looks like the miniature looks the same, but I think they've like possibly retooled it slightly so that it now fits into a circular base by itself rather than being specifically for the square ones, which is nice. But like that took them way too long. So that's my rolling for regret because I
Yeah,
should have just waited a bit longer to get my White King. I should have just waited a bit longer.
yes. It could have been slightly worse though. You could have had been one of the players that liked playing Space Marine captains with jump packs
Oh,
and like chaplains on bikes, no captains on bikes and stuff like that.
yeah.
This is before the Primaris stuff because suddenly they weren't legal units.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Imagine you've been playing like pre-Primaris Space Marines, so lots of tactical Marines, Devastators,
Mm,
make the old Assault Marines, that kind of era stuff.
yeah.
So you're probably used to having like your basic captain that can go on almost anything you want. You can have a jump pack or a bike or what have you. But
Mm,
with the new Primaris Marines, they sort of tried to standardize, and then they didn't. And unfortunately, you couldn't do any of that for your captain anymore. So if you've done up the model nicely, you're kind of like screwed.
yeah.
And then they did the ninth edition main box just had the new Primaris bikers in it anyway. So
Mm,
you've effectively had your whole army just like forcibly upgraded.
yeah.
And now the rule they don't have the rule for the old stuff.
It's like thanks. I was about to say thanks versus the coast. It's like that SpongeBob, not SpongeBob, the Simpsons meme of no Bart, no. It's like, Mom, it's not me, it's Lisa. It's, oh, sorry, force of habit. Curse you, Games Workshop. You ruined everything. Side note: don't actually
Yeah,
curse
they have
Games
sort of
Workshop.
fixed that now, but
Yeah.
do for other people, especially if they were on the old bases as well, because they upped the base size and
Hmm.
that made everything difficult.
It's like, yes, your old basing system is no longer up to code. Thanks.
Yeah, but sure sucks if you have a whole army of them.
Yeah. But that's our rolling for regret, talking about miniatures and how things have changed. It's for like very boomery kind of situation. Can't believe they changed things. How dare they? Uh,
I like some of the Sigmar stuff's pretty solid, like the
yes.
Death Eater courts. The Flesh Eater courts are really fun to look at.
Mm.
Anyways, anyways,
Our
what's up
last
next?
section is fantasy film night. I don't have an actual film, however, um, it's not even fantasy. I guess it is technically fantasy. Konami released a new video for their 25th anniversary. If you've seen that, it's about sort of 6 minutes
No, I
long.
haven't heard about
It's
this.
kind of like a clip show of various little like new pieces of, I guess, film for the Yu-Gi-Oh 25th anniversary. So they've got things like the Maiden with the Eyes of Blue summoning the Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. They've got like a little bit with
Oh,
Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. They have a battle between some of the six samurai until the Great Shogun Sheen shows up. lots of cool little interesting like little animatics that are like actually really cool, that gives you a bit more insight into the actual like universe that the Yu-Gi-Oh cards themselves are set in. It's very fun. It's absolutely beautiful.
Did they do the animated story for Gaga Gigo, whatever the rest of its name was?
Surprisingly enough, no. It was like mostly archetype stuff. Let me see if I
No.
can pull it up. Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, bollocks. Yu-Gi-Oh. I can't even spell Yu-Gi-Oh right. You go here. No. Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's the bootleg thing.
Anniversary. See if I can find some snapshots of this. If Google decides to actually function, which it appears not to. Right. Yu-Gi, there we go. Right, let's see if I can find it. Yes, here it is. It is in Japanese. Card game. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game: The Chronicles. It released like 8 days ago, but I didn't see it until like a couple days ago. So there's a section with Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl, which is very nice. I mean, I guess we've seen them before in the anime though, but it's just nice. They're following an orb. So they go into they get attacked by blue eyes, which is kind of cool, and red eyes. And then they go into a portal which makes the shape of the like the Yu-Gi-Oh card back. So we finally have a tiny bit of context as to what the fuck is the backside of the Yu-Gi-Oh card is supposed to represent. It's a summoning portal. All this time, we finally have confirmation of what the fuck the Yu-Gi-Oh card back is. It's a summoning portal.
Ah.
Yeah, so there's a section, Maiden with the Eyes of Blue and the Azure Silver Dragon. There's a bit with the Charmers, if you remember those. The ones where you flip them and you took control of a monster-specific attribute. They've had a lot of support lately, but they actually did the thing. So you can see, like, Elsa doing, like, a big old, kind of like, earth-bending thing. Yeah, the Spirit Chambers, and all their little guys. So there is some Gaga Gigo things, because I think it's...
Hey.
Gigabyte is one of the tamer spirits, so he does briefly show up.
That's fun.
So
He was like
yeah,
a meme, wasn't he?
yeah, he's like a meme in the
That's cool.
community. Uh,
No one could pronounce the name
yeah.
right because it was really long and
There's
so
a
many G's.
there's a very brief bit with the ice barriers. So there's a bit where they break out Trishula from the ice, which is part of the Dual Terminal series. So it's just nice to see that a little bit of that animated. There's the Melfies, which are a more recent Yu-Gi archetype, which is very cutesy. They have a fucking like Gundam section with the Divine Art, two of them big XYZ monsters in it. It is very Gundam. Give it a watch if you
I'd be
can. This
surprised
shit
if
is really cool. I will
that's an
link to it.
announcement for more decks.
No, they're an existing archetype. Yeah, so it's all to do with the 25th anniversary. So there's all archetypes and decks that are already out or have been out like across Yu-Gi-Oh's history. It's just nice to see. But yeah, the Six Samurai bit with the dojo is really cool. Just nice to see the Six Samurai getting some love after all these fucking years. They have the Evil Twins live stream, which is quite a funny joke. That's kind of another meme archetype. They've got what else is here?
What's that one? What's that one dog card that really was in the deck to
Oh,
die and then come back there to
Outstanding
the
Dog
credit
Moron.
story?
Yeah, Outstanding Dog Moron.
Yes.
They got the Albaz cycle, which was another sort of recent archetype, was really good, but it had like a really good story to it. There's like that section.
Okay.
In this. There's also announcement of some new like promo cards by the looks of things, but that's like not very
I was going to
important.
say there's going to be a card attachment to
Yeah,
that.
there is a card
That
attachment,
might
but it's
mind.
like very secondary to everything else. You do get to see Exodia doing some Exodia shit, because that
To see one of his legs hopping about.
yeah, there's Visas, the Fire Kings versus the Atlanteans, because Fire King's got a new deck lately, and finally we get to see like a little bit of the battle. But it's like a very quick couple of seconds, like boom, boom, boom. Here's an archetype. Here's an archetype. Here's a thing. Here's an interesting sort of view of this. Here's an interesting view of that for a brief second. The Dragon Rulers get like a shout out. The Magistus. What else is here? The Sulfur Chords, I guess. No one gives a shit about them, I don't think. Apologies if you like Sulfur Chord. Go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. No one. There's like the very like forgettable archetype, and then there's a bit at the end. Thank you for playing Yu-Gi-Oh card game for 25 years.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't imagine they reference those strange little men on the paper airplanes. I quite like them.
No, no, that they were surprisingly absent from that section. But yeah, it's like six
Oh,
minutes long, and it feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! The anime already exists, but I mean like Yu-Gi-Oh! The cards, the anime, if that makes sense. Which we haven't seen anything much like that for a very long time. You see the occasional like summoning animation in Duel Links, but this is like actual narrative shit and looks really cool. So that's my fantasy film thing. Recommend you go watch that. It's very cool.
that's nice.
Have you got anything to
Um,
add?
yes, yes. Off the back of that, I've been rewatching some stuff, and if you want to have like something little, if you want something that's a little off the cuff, a
Mm.
bit fun, there's a there's a really weird 80s movie called Life Force,
Uh huh.
which is no, it's I guess sci-fi horror, though it's totally set in the 80s.
Mm.
Um, it's honestly about space vampires.
Oh, okay.
It's about sexy space vampires. That's
Interesting.
it's just a really weird, kind of interesting movie. It's great. Although I suspect they cast porn actors for some of it, uh,
Oh,
because seriously, they look in the best possible way. Because the acting's okay,
yeah.
but you can tell from the look that they probably did some sort of adult film beforehand. Because she look the main star looks a little bit amazing.
It's one of those like
Um,
joking aside, as much as we don't like to admit it, the adult industry is like one avenue into the film industry. I think that was like a thing like in that kind of time period where it was one of the easier ins because at that time like Hollywood was just shit and like really hard to get into, I guess. I don't
you
know.
gotta start somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, there's also a weird crossover with horror and porn actors because again they're both cheap genres. So you
yeah.
get some people who did a lot of both. And Roger Corman made a lot of like pseudo porn movies that were also horror films. But Life was actually really quite good. It's
Hmm.
really weird and there's something for everyone. If you want something a bit sleazy and fun, it's definitely got that. If you want like a genuinely off the like, slightly a non-sci-fi film that's good and you definitely haven't
Yeah.
seen it, this is definitely one of those movies
There is
because it
no
didn't do
fucking
crazy
way
well.
Sir Patrick Stewart was in this movie.
Oh, he is, yes.
Looking at it now and seeing the cast, just yes. There's Mahilda May, Stephen Railsback, Frank Finlay, Patrick Stewart. Oh my
He's been
days.
in a lot of things you wouldn't expect him to show up
Yeah.
in. My favorite thing I've seen him in is if you've seen the 1980s Dune film,
Oh, the old yeah, yeah. That version of the
he's
Dune.
briefly in that.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a great the scene I always remember is he's going into some battle and he's carrying a pug with him and it's just the weirdest thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that. The pug.
Pug,
Uh, the pug that survives the whole movie somehow.
the best secondary character thing of the whole film, really.
Yes.
Someone did a montage. It's just the pug on 48.
Oh. A manned space mission discovers an alien spacecraft and inadvertently unleashes a race of vampiric creatures that begin to suck the life force out of humans in London. 1985. It's got 56% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.1 on IMDb. So it's very, very average, which is, I guess, not bad for a budget B movie fantasy sci-fi horror.
Yeah, that checks out. It is good, but it's not that good.
Yeah. Huh. I'll have to give this
I
and
will say it's one of
watch.
those films that's worth watching once, and you won't have seen it.
Yeah.
Um,
Very interesting indeed. Right, I think that will have to do it for this podcast this week. Do we have any closing thoughts?
Yes, I was thinking, what are we thinking for the skirmish battle? So that's gonna be
Ah,
quite fun.
yes. So, um, I was thinking kill team next time because A, I remember that the place that venue we go to does actually have a kill team box we could borrow, so we could maybe try the standard kill team box thing.
Terrain, if
Yeah,
it's assembled, yeah.
yeah. I think it. I'm not sure if it has the miniatures in it as well. It might be nice to just review the sort of the standard kill team game, I guess, and then do stuff with our own
The
like
worst case scenario,
units.
I've got a couple of teams that can run.
Cool.
That's
Yeah, if you
fine.
bring like ersats,
So your
backups,
orcs,
yeah, and then I'll bring the orcs, and yeah,
tiles and stuff. Okay, that sounds all right. That. Uh, I've got the book as well, so I've got that
good.
covered.
So yeah, that will be next week. Yeah, tune in next week for us playing. Well, our report of attempting to kill team for the first time in a very long time. Well, at least me, anyway. The first time in a very long
I
time.
haven't played. I did actually play the new edition as well. This is my first game of the
Ah.
second edition for it.
So, we hope that goes well. Right.
Oh, we'll see how we go. Sometimes I roll like complete trash.
Hmm. Right. Yeah, so I guess we'll see you guys on the next week. We're gonna raid the
It's a
Noble
lab. It's
One,
the research bench.
who is playing Times and Galaxy. They're playing a game like a demo or something. There's like a new indie game that's out. Yes.
Hmm.
So slash raid. What's it? What's the actual name? Not raid channel. The Noble One. Yes. Dude. And we will raid. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube.
See you all
check
next
out
week.
the podcast,
Same.
etc. Yeah. See you guys next week. Thank you, Harugal. Bye bye all. And see you soon.
Bye.
Keep rolling those good rolls. We'll work on our outro message. That was terrible. Bye.